Alright, so I just watched Godzilla vs. Kong very recently, and I thought I'd do a little review, give you guys what I thought about the movie, because, we've been waiting for this movie for a very long time, ever since they announced it, like, years ago, to when they started filming. It's been this whole journey, and now we're near, like, the tail end of what we were promised for the MonsterVerse, so what better way to celebrate that than to actually talk about it? So, uh, the first time I saw this movie in theaters, I was actually like, I did not like this movie, like, at all. Like, it was fun. That's it. Like, that was that was literally it. Like, everything about the movie was like it failed on every front as a film to me at first. Obviously, the monster fights are, like, quite frankly, some of the best of the series, but, like, at the end of the day, as a film, I just thought, like, it completely failed. The characters were immensely worse than they were in King of the Monsters. I thought um, they were, like, so paper thin that they were, like, practically on the level of, like, Godzilla versus Megalon, like, that low. Um, but, like, damn, like, at first I fucking hated this movie. This movie did not do it for me. Like, I left the theater very, like, complaining about shit. It went on tangents about, like, several character arcs that were completely wasted. I just did not like what I saw. And it was weird knowing that I was waiting, like, almost 5 years for this movie, and it ended up just being a hour and 53-minute experience that is, quite frankly, very forgettable as a film. But then something changed. I decided to rewatch the movie. Let's just say I didn't use legal means. I decided to rewatch the movie, and when I watched it, something was different. Like, I knew what I was watching. I was familiar with it now that I had already watched it once. And I was just like, while I was watching, I was just having fun. Like, the movie was just such a joy when I knew what to expect, like, what I was actually going to see. And it really puts you into perspective. Like, this movie is so fun on the second watch. On the second watch, you're just along for the ride, and the meaningless human characters and the completely bonkers plot, like, it all kind of seems to fade away, because it not only is the pace super fast, but it keeps your attention um easily. And it's also a very funny movie, like, not in the sense that I laughed out loud, but it's silly. It's a very silly, lighthearted movie that, like, anyone can watch. And that's something at the moment, um like, I really appreciate that. So, plot, if there really is anything that you can call plot in this movie. So, where do I fucking begin? Oh my god. Also, major spoilers here. So, essentially, there's this, like, little girl on Skull Island. Her name's Gia. Um, she's, like, the only one that can communicate with Kong, and they have to use her so that Kong can lead the human characters to the core of the planet, which is the Hollow Earth, and that's where they're planning to get some, like, super, important energy for, a certain mecha. And meanwhile, Godzilla's, like, going on a fucking shit fit, because he's, like, I don't know. In the beginning of the movie, he's turned on humanity seemingly for no reason. Um, Obviously, that reason is identified later on in the movie. So they have Kong trapped on Skull Island because not only is Skull Island, like, being consumed by a storm, but if they let Kong out of the containment center, Godzilla will fucking kill him. That's the reason why Kong is like, captured. So, while the humans take him off the island to take them to the core, right? Uh, they're on their fucking toes. Like, they're literally sailing everywhere where Godzilla isn't, and, like, they're just desperately trying to get away from him. But obviously that fails. Godzilla comes for Kong, and they fight, which is oh damn, that is a nice ass fight, bro. That is a nice fight. That is so visceral, so fucking violent, and very dynamic. There's even a part where Kong jumps like from not air, from battleship to battleship. It's like fucking Unit 2 in that, I think, episode 9 or 8 of Evangelion. I forgot. That was awesome. That fight was awesome. And, you know, they get to Antarctica afterwards. Kong goes into Hollow Earth and they find this whole fucking lost world of kaiju, and it's fucking awesome. They find this temple of Kongs, and it's like, wow, Kong had a history, like he's royal, like actual royal blood or some shit. It's awesome, and it's really interesting for the character. You know, the character's been stuck on like with remakes over and over again for the last 80 years. I think this is pretty unique and nice for him to finally break out of that. Meanwhile, Madison Russell, this fat kid named Josh, and Bernie, this paranoid conspiracy theorist, who's always like on the tail of this company called Apex that he works for. The three of them, they try to invade Apex, and they find out that, you know, big spoiler here, they're building Mechagodzilla, and Mechagodzilla is an anti-Titan mech that is meant to take down Godzilla so humanity can have their own, their power over the Titans finally. Some shit leads to another, blah blah blah, Godzilla Kong fight, and it's so, oh god, the fight is so good. Like, this is easily like top 5, top 3 maybe of the best fights in the series, guaranteed. Like, holy shit. Like, I can't overstate how satisfying it is to see these two characters finally duke it out for the first time in 60 years. It's awesome. It's so satisfying to watch. It's so goddamn entertaining. And, you know, Mechagodzilla turns on the characters, and he goes rogue, and he's essentially Kiryu, but like he actually goes through with it and doesn't stop being a bad guy. And Godzilla and Kong need to team up, and, you know, blah blah blah, and apparently Godzilla wins. Godzilla does win this fight, and he just swims off like he did in 2014, which is kind of a neat way to tie up the MonsterVerse. I'm not sure if the MonsterVerse is going to continue after this, but if this was going to be the ending, that's a pretty nice way to end off the MonsterVerse, having Godzilla swim away in the ocean. It also looks like the scene in Terror of Mechagodzilla at the end, where Godzilla finally goes off to the ocean after he defeats Titanosaurus and Mechagodzilla 2. Yes, Mechagodzilla in Terror of Mechagodzilla is Mechagodzilla 2. Overall, those like, the plot, it's something. It's very fast paced. It's entertaining as hell. It's very thin though, and there are times where you kind of forget why the characters are doing this. They don't give enough time necessarily to reasons as to why they're doing the things that they do. So therefore, it is very forgettable in that aspect, the plot. But, you know, we're here to see Godzilla and Kong fight, so it's not that big a deal. However, what is a big deal to me is the human characters. So the human characters are fun, but they are guaranteed some of the blandest characters we've ever had in the Godzilla series. You know, Millie Bobby Brown is fine. She's okay. She has no development. She's just there, you know, whatever. They're fun. They're like a fun trio. They're fine. I don't mind them. I do have a problem with a character named Ren Serizawa. He is the son of Dr. Serizawa, who just fucking died in the last one. So to see that he literally has no presence in the movie and has like 2 scenes at all was disappointing. Like, I fully expected Ren Serizawa to be the villain here and have like a petty revenge scheme to kill Godzilla with Mechagodzilla, because, you know, he thinks that Godzilla killed his father, or that his father paid too much attention to Godzilla and never took care of him, like that kind of thing. Like, that arc, that negative character arc, is so easy to write in, but they didn't fucking do it, and they just wasted that character. Like, it doesn't have to be the deepest character in the world. I mean, the Godzilla series isn't known for having deep characters, but like, you could have tried something to put some amount of depth into this movie. I know this movie isn't deep at all in any way. There are no themes. There are no nothing. There's like nothing. There's nothing in this movie that is of substance. It's only entertainment, empty spectacle, I should say. And that aspect, like the way they wasted Ren Serizawa, was, I think, probably like the movie's biggest fault in that. Like that human character was completely wasted. The potential was completely wasted. So the monsters, Godzilla and Kong, they emote so well. They're very fun to watch. Godzilla is very mobile. He acts like a alligator sometimes, which is awesome. I couldn't ask for more when it comes to the monsters' expressions and their personalities. Godzilla and Kong have such unique personalities now. It's just like, it's beautiful seeing these characters come to life in the way they did in this movie. And last thing I want to touch upon is fucking Mechagodzilla. So on my second rewatch, I don't think they handled Mechagodzilla the worst way possible. Like, it was okay. It could have been a lot worse on second viewing. However, nonetheless, I feel like Mechagodzilla as a whole should have been taken care of a bit more. As in, I don't know, it feels like it just pops up. Even though, like, of course, it is hinted at throughout the movie, even the beginning of the movie. But I just feel like overall, they could have done a little bit more with Mechagodzilla's presence. Like, he just felt a bit empty. That's really it. It's not too big a deal. One thing they could have elaborated on was Ghidorah's, like, they have Ghidorah's head being the biological computer that's running Mechagodzilla, and seemingly Ghidorah takes over Mechagodzilla, but it's not really hinted, like, it's not really said or hinted at. You just kind of have to believe that Ghidorah took it over, or it's either Ghidorah took it over or it just went rogue for like one bug or one glitch or some shit. So that aspect was also not very developed. About his design, I fucking hated this design when I first saw it. Like, I was like, really, guys? Like, this is you choose this to be the MonsterVerse design for Mechagodzilla? I thought you were gonna make like a sleek kind of like military grade weapon looking, like he's not too busy. He doesn't look like a transformer. He looks like somewhat simple but very distinct. Here, at first I fucking hated how blocky and generic he looked. Like, he just didn't look right. And especially when I saw that they didn't put the head crest on Mechagodzilla, like, I was like, bro, are you serious? Like, that's like a defining part of the character. It's like you took something away that now it's a bit more empty. That's a nitpick, obviously. Now seeing it, I do like, I am starting to warm up to Mechagodzilla's design and the way he acts. Overall, I think that's pretty okay. I do somewhat appreciate the way they did his character here, but like, I feel like maybe they could have done it a bit better. I also do appreciate that Godzilla got his ass whooped by Mechagodzilla, which is a very common trope with the Godzilla series. Like, if Godzilla's gonna fight Mechagodzilla, like, he's gotta get his ass whooped. Like, Mechagodzilla is one of the most powerful characters in the entire series. Like, he's consistently kicking Godzilla's ass. So I feel like the way, like, Godzilla gets fucked up, like, hard. So that felt good. That felt very good. I did think that they should have done a few more unique things with Mechagodzilla's abilities. Like, he just shoots a few missiles, like an energy punch. He can thrust he can shoot rockets, or he has rockets on his back, and he can launch himself up and like fucking punch Godzilla in the air or kick Godzilla or some shit. It's cool. That's cool, but like, I feel like they missed out a little bit. You know, they had this whole Hollywood budget, yet Mechagodzilla did a lot less than the previous Mechagodzillas did. Even, I actually think even the anime trilogy Mechagodzilla did more than this Mechagodzilla did in terms of overall abilities. So overall, this movie is extremely fun, extremely entertaining, and if you're a Godzilla fan or Kong fan, you are bound to enjoy this movie. It's such a fun ride. It flows very well. It's just a good fun, like, just feels good to watch it. It just feels good to watch it. Um is it better than King of the Monsters? I don't know. I mean, I'm one of those people that actually didn't mind King of the Monsters. I thought, I mean, it could have been better, but like, it's not the worst thing in the world. Is it better than 2014? Uh, in my opinion, no. It's not better than Godzilla 2014. I think Godzilla 2014 is one of the best of the series, objectively. Just as a film, it's overall just very, very, just well made, in my opinion. Now, there obviously were some missed opportunities. Unfortunately, there's always that one big character that the MonsterVerse films the MonsterVerse Godzilla films seem to have this one issue where like they have this amazing potential for one specific human character and then they just fuck it up. Um, they did that with 2014 with Joe Brody. They did it with King of the Monsters with Emma Russell, and now they did it with Ren Sarazawa. And it's really unfortunate because these movies really could have been like A tier in terms of characters, and human characters. Having good human characters is great because it makes the fan base not look like imbeciles for liking big monster movies. Like, it's embarrassing when I have to tell people like, oh, I like this Godzilla, I like Godzilla, and they don't take me seriously because like Godzilla is just they just think that Godzilla is empty monster fights and with no like they're all bad movies. That's what the general public thinks. So having good human characters helps like the Godzilla series have a greater identity than just big monster, especially with the American public because you know the American public what fucking American, what average burger eating American is gonna like know what the fuck a megalon is. No, they the only ones that are widely available are the MonsterVerse films so far, N98, but MonsterVerse films. So having those be the best representation of what Godzilla can be is ideal. And have they done that? Well, they've done a very great job in my opinion. They've done a very good job. Um, but the human characters, they're okay, but some of them could be really great if they just put some more time and had the confidence to go all the way with them. So I would give this movie maybe a 3 out of 5 objectively, because it's so much fun that you actually start forgetting that the movie's plot is thin and the characters are shit. In terms of its fun factor, 4 out of 5, fucking 4 out of 5. But objectively, the movie is okay, and at worst, it's an empty mess, which is pretty bad. But the thing is, I don't really want to call this movie a bad movie because every time you watch it, you just enjoy yourself. And I don't think that kind of movie should be labeled as bad. That's at least my 2 cents into it. So yeah, uh, cheers to the MonsterVerse. Hopefully it continues. I wouldn't mind if Godzilla went back to Japan for a little bit. But I can't deny that the MonsterVerse films have shaped the Godzilla series in immeasurable ways. They've changed things forever, and I will always hold them in my heart. They're always going to be those few movies that I begged my parents to take me to the theaters to go see. They're always going to be special to me, and hopefully there will be more. Hopefully. So that's it. This is Empire signing out.